Howdy. And you know, I've done about 19 rankings so far in Skyrim, and this took me about 2 years of my life so far. So you know, with that many rankings, I've done just about every obvious one you can think of, from spouses to haircuts. So now, I think we've reached the apex of what I can consider a good idea for a ranking. And what I mean by that is, from now on, I'll probably be doing these depending on which ones you guys choose in polls I put up every 2 weeks. Like I did for this one. And you guys chose houses. Just kidding. I've seen a billion comments for houses, but when push came to shove, you guys chose Jarl Ballin. Yeah, Jarls came out on top. So yup, we are now ranking Jarls from Skyrim from worst to best. But before we get into it, what is a longbrow ranking without notes, right? So here they are. First, these are both initial Jarls and potential Jarls as well, depending on who wins the Civil War. Second, these mighty leaders will be graded on how good of a leader they are, how unique they are, and how fleshed out they are. Yeah, maybe there are some Jarls who I disagree with a lot, like I do not agree with anything they do, but hey, their wiki pages are way longer than any of the others, so they get some bonus points for at least having some meat to them, you know what I mean? At least they have a background. And third, these are my opinion. Like always, if you disagree, then leave. I've been doing these for 2 years, and I've done this 19 times. If you still disagree with what I have to say, then it's blasphemy. It is blasphemy to my name. Just kidding. Sit down, breathe. We all have our own beautiful opinions, even if they're wrong. Let's get started. Howdy. And it's my face. You don't see that very often, but the reason you're seeing me right now is because this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. We did it, boys. Raid is a free mobile RPG with over 600 champions to collect. These include characters like my uncle I only see on Thanksgiving. Not to mention, each one of these characters is part of their own unique faction with a whole unique story surrounding them. And you can use my link in the description down below to download Raid today on your mobile devices and PC even. And Raid has just released a brand new boss fight that is actually 6 unique bosses in one. The Hydra. Each head of the Hydra is its own unique can of worms to unravel and defeat. Like the head of Wrath, which weakens down your dudes and taunts them constantly. Or the head of Torment, which looks like my uncle's dog he insists to bring to every Thanksgiving. And it has a true fear ability. I was personally a huge fan of the cutscenes that they had played between specific battles or at the beginning or end of specific chapter campaigns. I am a sucker for ink and scroll styled cutscenes, and this game has plenty of them. One of my favorite things to do was to go to a boss, get completely wrecked, then go back, level up my characters, and then I am the Wrecker. Raid is also currently giving away a limited edition champion right now to new and returning players. Esports superstar Simple. All you have to do is log in 7 days and boom, he's yours. Do not miss out, because after January 28th, 2022, he is gone forever. Not to mention, there's also holiday events and even specific holiday champions going on right now too. There has never been a better time than right now to hop into Raid, so be sure to use my link in the description down below and scan my QR code right here, and be sure to earn the rewards you can get by doing this. You will get the epic champion Tyrell, 200,000 silver, 1 energy refill, 1 experience booster, and 1 ancient shard, and earn awesome champions right off the back like the uncle I wish I had. Your treasure will be waiting for you right here. These rewards are available to new players for only the next 30 days. I will see you in the game, and thank you very much Raid for sponsoring this video. Ungvor Silverblood is the Jarl of the Reach only if the Stormcloaks win, and he is racist towards any non-human. Screw him! That's all I need to say. Screw him, he's racist. Sidgeir is the Jarl of Falkreath, and I hate him, and so does his people. He took over this position from his uncle because he said his uncle was old and frail, but honestly it's most likely because the Empire appointed him to this because his uncle actually supports the Stormcloaks. I mean, the dude is like giving a frat boy power over the entire college. He even makes you get meat for him from Riften just to talk to him. Give him the old Tamriel goodbye, if you know what I'm saying. Courier is the Jarl of Winterhold, and you know, he's just a really, really bad person because he doesn't have any awesome subtitle like Jarl Balin the Greater. He's just a petty man who hates the college because he thinks that they caused the fall of Winterhold, even though the college is the only reason anyone acknowledges that Winterhold exists in the first place. He does want Winterhold to rise to power again, but he's just too much of an angry, bitter man to do anything about it. Sorli the Builder is the Jarl of Hjalmarch. I mispronounced that horribly, I know I did. Only if the Stormcloaks win. And Sorli is very, very boring. She owns the mines and wants to keep moving up to bigger cities to become their Jarls. But at least she's not a flaming turd like, you know, like Joffrey II over here. Skald the Elder is the Jarl of the Pale, and guess what? He's old. Could you guess? So old that he has ruled for over 35 years. That's pretty impressive. Too bad he's like the old man on the porch screaming at everyone who walks by, but you know, he's the leader of an entire town. He reminds me of the old man from Dexter who writes the license plate of every car that passes by because he thinks they're all out to get him. The dude thinks that the dragons are sent from Talos to fight the Empire because they banned the worship of Talos. And if the Stormcloaks wins, he thinks they will just disappear. Igmund is the Jarl of the Reach and is going to probably get his people killed if it wasn't for Giga Chad himself coming in. Because he is positive, completely positive in his mind that the dragons cannot hurt his mighty city because it's so fortified and perfect. He also refuses to believe that the Forsworn are even a problem when they are. That's all there is to him, honestly. There's not much here for him. Idgard Ravencrone is the Jarl of Hjalmarch. Again, I probably mispronounced that, but it also sounds like someone just banged their head on the keyboard. This chick is strange. She is one of those people who would tell you that your missing son has been talking to her in her dreams, and you will find him at the bottom of a well in Arkansas or something. She says she has visions and it has dreams that foretell the future. Because of this, you know, being a cuckoo crazy head, and for hiring a wizard when her town really doesn't like wizards at all, her people are losing hope in her as a leader, and she doesn't really seem to care. But you know, who could blame them when your leader is acting like a roadside freak show? She is very intelligent though, so she has that going for her, so I'll give her a few points. She's not stupid, she's just strange. Layla Lawgiver is the Jarl of the Rift, and that is a very ironic name since the Rift is similar to Jabba the Hutt's couch. That poor thing. She's actually a great person. She wants to be a great leader and lead her nation to great success. Too bad all of her subordinates keep lying to her and telling her that the city is safe and in like an amazing great state. And she's kind of ignorant for believing them. She just kind of goes by their words and she's like, my city's perfect. Maven Blackbriar, yeah, she's a great citizen. But she is extremely nice, just very gullible. Dangir of Stun is the Jarl of Falkreath, only if the Stormcloaks win. This was the Jarl that lost his position to his turd of a nephew. He's a nice guy. I mean, you know, he's a nice enough guy. But after losing his position, he became uber paranoid towards everyone, even his loyal maid who followed him even after he got canned, making him very strange for a leader, that's for sure. But he's not bad. He just thinks that everyone is out to get him. He also refuses to take stuff from his citizens and genuinely seems like he wants the best for his kingdom. So that is a very positive thing about him. He just needs to stop giving a side glance to everybody. Maven Blackbriar is the Jarl of the Rift only if the Empire wins. She's a really, really bad person. She has connections and ties to the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild. She also has a weasel like, I don't know, everywhere in Skyrim. She owns a meadery, but she is also probably the sketchiest person in all of Tamriel. Even sketchier than Heimskr. Look at him, just standing there. But I can't deny she is really fleshed out as a character. I don't agree with her one bit. I do not like her. She's a very mean person. Like I said from the very start, if these characters are fleshed out, they get bonus points, and she is really realized as a character. She's very realized as this like gang boss leader, so she gets bonus points. Kraldor is the Jarl of Winterhold only if the Empire wins. This guy is surprisingly alright. He's pretty good actually. He has huge dreams and ambitions for Winterhold and how he can turn this turd of a town around. He even wants peace with the college and believes working with them is the best bet to get Winterhold out of the crappy happy state it's in when you start the game. Unlike the booger rag over there. I just wish that there was more story to him. Great potential, but he's not fleshed out enough. Elsif the Fair is the Jarl of Hoffengar, which sounds like a weird breed of fish. This is the queen who took over after her husband got bodied by Ulfric. She's fine, I mean, she seems nice enough, but honestly she doesn't do much. She gives all of her duties to her steward, Falk Forbears, who honestly seems like a really nice guy. I was expecting someone like this or something like that, but the dude's actually pretty good. But she also relies a ton on General Tullius, meaning she's kind of just a figurehead, but she didn't choose this really, because like I said, her husband got transferred to the Afterlife branch, but she is very developed as a character, so she gets bonus points for at least having a very interesting story to her. Vignar Greymane is the Jarl of Whiterun only if the Stormcloaks win. And this guy is a seasoned adventurer, that's for sure. I mean, the dude fought in a war for over 30 years and even joined the Companions. He is also really well regarded by almost every citizen in Whiterun. Everyone loves this dude, except for the Battleborns because Greymane or Battleborn. He's nice and seems like he would even probably be a pretty good leader. Good on you, buddy, but you took the place of someone who's going to be coming up later. Brina Merlils, I think I said that correctly, is the Jarl of the Pale only if the Empire wins. And I'm upset with myself, ladies and gentlemen, for not really knowing much about this woman too much before I started doing this list because she's freaking sick. She's a retired legionary and is a very stern, strong woman, that's for sure. But she even shows her warm side every now and again. And even after she becomes Jarl, the people will proclaim that they like her much more than the previous Jarl. She even sees all the issues with the Empire that she supports. So she's not just blinded by honor or anything like that. She even sees that the dragons are a massive threat because they are. She's great, dude. She's overall just a really good leader. I also wish she had a little bit more backstory, but she's pretty good. Brunwulf Freewinter is the Jarl of Windhelm only if the Empire wins. And dude, talk about a great guy. He isn't racist, which is a huge win. Yes, thank you. He actually hates racists with a burning passion. Can I just clone this guy, please? He could just lead everywhere, man. He even wants to take steps to help the Nords and Argonians make peace and live as one. He even plans to rebuild and renovate the Grey Quarters for the Dunmer so that they can live really good lives instead of living like homeless people. This is just a really nice guy right here. I don't think anyone can deny that. Ulfric Stormcloak. We all already know everything about this man. I support the Empire personally, so I don't really like him very much, but I cannot deny he has the richest backstory out of every Jarl in the game, and he is a really well-developed character. I mean, he's a veteran who trained with the Greybeards and almost became one. If you kill him, he will even exclaim in the afterlife that he regrets the war because it blinded them to the dragons. The dude has too much to explain here in just a simple ranking, but he is really well realized as a character, but for the Empire. Yeah. Call me cliche or a normie, maybe predictable, but Jarl Ballin is great. The greater to be exact. He takes the dragons very seriously. He cares for his people, and the dude lets you lure a dragon to his city to catch it because he just trusts the dragonborn that much. I mean, he does have a crap stain of a son, but which king doesn't, right? And no, I don't think he killed his wife. I don't want to see a million comments about that. Every time I mention this dude's name, someone with an IQ over 900 hops down there, just like, but did you know? Yeah, that's just a theory. I'm just gonna go with the fact that he's a G, dude. This dude's freaking great. I called him a G. I've never called anyone a G in my life, and I kind of feel like I should go to prison for it. And we're done. That is another ranking notched on my belt. Another page of my legacy on YouTube as the guy who ranks things in a decade-old game. But you choose to watch it, so I will continue to do them. Keep an eye on the channel for another poll in 2 weeks, because I got another video planned that isn't Skyrim related, but it's going to be coming out in 2 weeks, and then the poll will come up and the next ranking will be out. Help me decide which one I will be doing next. Anyways, thanks guys. See ya.